And there's also no wrong way, and I do tell people this too, especially with getting into the market or just into the industry. There's no wrong way to make a book.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Inside Comics. My name is George Michail, and I'm joined by CHAD Perkins, creator of The Legend of Sparkledog.
Hello, how's it going?
Yes, thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into your Kickstarter, which just recently launched
hmm
for The Legend of Sparkledog. But before
Yes.
we get into that, I'd like to talk about growing your audience. So, Chad, you have a podcast, a
Do.
YouTube show, and you've moved it recently to be part of the Indie Comics group. Can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit about that?
Yeah, so it happened right as I was working on Sparkle Dog. We ended up rubbing elbows with the Indie Comics Network, Nita Lanning, and one of the topics that happened was furries. And she reached out to me because she knew I was talking about Sparkle Dog and I was working on it. And she's like, "Hey, do you want to come in and talk?" And she also knew I did Shots with Comics, which is the podcast that moved there. And Kit, my co-host, is a furry. So she called us over, and then one thing led to another, and she started listening to our show more and more. And she said, "Hey, do you guys want to join us? Because you guys do review comics. You're very mean. Well, we're very critical. I mean, yes, we can be assholes too. I will not deny that either. But she's like, hey, you guys are very critical. You guys review. You guys are definitely passionate. You guys have a lot of energy. Why don't you come and join us?" And I was like, yeah. So it's been going good.
Right. So, has there been a benefit from joining this podcast group?
The door has opened for so many Facebook groups. It's not in my messenger. It's not even funny, but no, yes, it has been. I've met a lot of great people. Tina, who is Hasm's Press or Hasm's Productions, and Rodney Fink, who also does that. They do Roadkill Rampage. I've met Randy Zimmerman of Arrow Comics. I've met just a ton of different people, but we've also been getting a lot more fans and listeners as well. And a lot of the people come according to just some number stuff. I never really ask about logistics or anything. Is people like the fact that we are very talkative and expressive with our mediums, because you can tell that we really enjoy the medium. But it's been a really good benefit. I've met way too many people that I can't even count. I've also met Luke Stone, who's also a part of Arrow. Mitch Rogers. It's been a crazy. We've only been on there for like 4 weeks, and it's been pretty crazy.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, growing your audience,
hmm
just doing a show in general is part of that, right? Like,
Yes.
talking with people, and then you're promoting other people, you're lifting other people up, but at the same time you're lifting yourself up too by kind of getting people to know you. And my hope is, like, when I'm putting out stuff every week and people are kind of getting to know me, that when it's my turn to launch a project, they'll be there. Or I have a new book out, they'll be there for me too, but I'm
Yep.
always helping other people as well. So it's a very uh, symbiotic relationship.
It is. It is, and that's what, especially with joining the Indie Comics Network, but also just being in the uh, indie network in general, just like the indie community. We all support and back each other. It's really a nice. I don't want to say family because that's a corporate speak thing, and that sounds terrible. But it's like a nice gaggle, if you will, because everybody's doing shout outs, promoting, tweeting each other. Fans are finding stuff that they never dreamed to be finding. So they could be looking at Sparkle Dog, and then they could be moving over to, I don't know, Paragon or Roadkill Rampage or cover of Darkness like you do, or Resilient. So it's like it becomes like this nice, I guess, web of discovery for fans and people alike. So, and I think that's really important with growing audiences, is not just promoting yourself, but promoting your creator friends, because that also shows to these fans, oh hey, this guy isn't just about himself, he's also about these other books, and he also reads other people's material. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think, like, in comics, it's a very cool community because, like, there's very few industries where you can you can go to somebody and like maybe not know everything, and
Hmm.
professionals in the industry will help you. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Yes.
that's so cool. Like you can't go and like apply at Microsoft and if you don't if your resume isn't perfect, they'll just be like, get out of here. But
Right.
if you
Exactly.
go to like a comic book convention and you talk to, I don't know, John Buscema, not John, or John
John
Romita,
Busey.
you know, you talk to somebody, they'll be like, hey, maybe you work on this, or yeah, this is cool, and it kind of we all kind of help each other, and it's a very cool
Exactly.
industry that way.
And there's also no wrong way, and I do tell people this too, especially with getting into the market or just into the industry. There's no wrong way to make a book. And
Yeah.
there's no wrong way to ask somebody. I mean, there is. You could be an asshole for asking, but there is no shame in ever coming up to somebody and saying, "Hey, am I doing this right?" Because 9 times out of 10, most of us are going to respond with, "You know, I don't know, but we're gonna find out." At least on the back end and everything.
You know, I saw recently an editor in chief of like a different publisher
Mhm.
said that if they look at someone's proposal and it has like an odd number of pages instead of even number of pages, they won't even look at it. And I'm just like, is that really like?
Is that necessary?
I'm like, yeah, I know we're supposed to keep it to 20 or 22, but sometimes you got 25 pages worth of stuff that you just got to tell. And that's just the way it is, and you can't really do any less, and you know you don't want to do any more, so that's what you made. And I think that's okay. Like I think the only
Yeah.
rule in comics is don't be boring.
Yes. No, I agree. Also, don't be an asshole. But
Yes.
yes, I mean, definitely don't be boring, and just and I stress this, just have fun. Like, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you can make a bunch of money out of comics." And it's like, I mean, if you're like, 6 other people, sure. But you're really, you want to have fun instead of looking at the money portion of it. And also too, understanding that submitting stuff like that publisher saying it's a lot of work. Uh, you end up the 5, because it used to be 5 pages usually, and now some of them are doing 6, 8, and some want like the full script of the first issue. They want the book completely completed. They want a lot of stuff, and it's stressful.
So something that's definitely not boring is the Legend of Sparkledog.
Oh yes.
Can you tell us about your newest book?
Yeah. So first off, I marketed this thing as an abomination. I marketed it as a disgrace to society, and it shouldn't exist. But Legend of Sparkle Dog is about our gender fluid main character named Quinn. They decide that they don't like furries. They're scouring the internet, making fun of them, being a huge troll, and then they find out that you can buy fursonas, and not fursuits. You can actually buy a whole character, and that's a real thing. Like, people buy other people's personas.
Right, like the like a persona would be like on like the Masked Singer, like there's like, you know,
Yes.
Space Bunny or whatever, you can buy
Yes.
Space Bunny.
Yes, you can buy Space Bunny. You can buy the snail that was on Mass Singer. Yeah, you can buy those. And Quinn ends up buying a fursuit. And it's this really creepy, kind of unsettling fursuit named Sparkle Dog. And that was the fursona. Well, you find out that the actual suit he bought is sentient. And it does go into that the reason why Sparkle Dog is sentient, is a sentient being, and why he is back is furries used to be the protectors of the world. They used to protect humans. And after some mysterious event happened, 5 guardians banished Sparkle Dog to this wherever dimension. And now, in order to bring Sparkle Dog back, Quinn must go around the world and collect 4 crystal paw pads from these guardians in order to bring him back, so Sparkle Dog can bring back world peace, or so he says.
This is crazy.
Yes. And at first, when I pitched this, and I know people are like, "Oh, that just sounds like a fun adventure." No, this is a furry horror, reality shifting, multi genre adventure. Like, it's a horror book, it's creepy, and it's weird. So don't let the description fool you.
So if the suit is sentient, is it
Mhm.
like when you put it on, then all of a sudden you're not in control of your body? The suit is controlling you?
Yes, that
Or
is
is
correct.
okay.
Yes.
That
Yep.
could be really bad because it could do terrible things and then everyone would blame you when you're not.
Eggs. Well, yes. Yeah, no, the suit itself is it is able to talk when they have the head, but it can't move. It can only speak. He also speaks in emojis as well.
Mm,
So Sparkle Dog talks as he has emojis, and also he talks in furry speak as well. But he also speaks in emojis, and somehow that translates to English. But yes, Sparkle Dog, when you put on the suit, he does start taking you over gradually. And that's kind of what's happening with Quinn in these different issues. And each issue is written as a different genre. So, like, the second issue is written as a Muppet. The third issue is written as a noir story, and then so forth. So each one is just an experimental. I've also chosen to write genres that I've never really considered writing, so that's kind of fun. Um, so yeah, but it's every book is going to be completely different. So
this sounds nuts.
it
Um,
sure is.
so the Kickstarter is live right now.
Yes,
Everyone go and back this. I'm going to back it.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a cool concept. Are you offering any variant covers?
I am, yes. So the variant covers that we are currently working on, and that's something that I'm very excited, is all these people, I will tell you right now, as far as we know, they did this all at will. So we did not threaten them to do this. We actually have our main cover, which was a variant cover, but we upped it, which is C. Michael Lanning's cover. That's our nice Boop to the City cover, where it's Sparkle Dog being a kaiju monster. Then we have the Master of Grayscale, Warren Brown, who did the Today's Furcast variant, which is a very unsettling, creepy looking furry movie poster. And then after that, we also have one which I think is my favorite gimmick. It all what it is it is from the Satanic Coloring Book man himself, Jason Lennox. He does the Heck Lord Sparkle Dog variant where it's a black and white variant cover. It's going to be printed on white cardstock, and you can actually have you, your buddy, a colorist, whoever you want, actually color that for you. Um, so that's
That's
kind
cool.
of fun. Yeah, I thought that one was really fun. And then my mine, which I was very honored that she decided to do it. The creator of Plume and For Goodness Sakes, Kaylin Smith, award-winning artist and writer, she actually did the Hero That We Need variant as well. And I'm very happy to have her on board with this. All these people were pleasant to work with. So if you're ever looking to get variant covers from them, they're very easy, they're very understanding, and they're a lot of fun. When you tell them, do whatever you want, they sure do.
That's
So,
amazing. Yeah, so The
yeah,
Legend of Sparkle Dog is live on Kickstarter right now. There's a link in the description of this video. So click that link and go back this book.
thank you.
Chad Perkins, I want to thank you for being on Inside Comics.
Of course, thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
Until next time, peace.
bye.